Dope. Picture of John Porter.
Edit that together, make me sound cool.
I'm gonna continue to run around like a chicken with my head cut off.
I'll just realize I laugh like Elmo, which is like, I think a cool thing.
I'm sure this is far from the most glamorous thing you're gonna record.
You liar.
I never know.
I appreciate what Drew and the bridge are doing, but sometimes the music is too loud.
Well, okay. If you prefer, I can keep it away.
No, I don't care either way.
Oh, okay.
You'll get me raw and uncut.
Okay.
I don't know if you're filming
well,
now, but
I am actually rolling now. Yeah.
Hello.
First rule of documentary production: never stop rolling.
In a short minute, maybe like tap on all the mics. Drew, make sure we're like working.
oh wow, that was not plugged in. Let me know.
But yeah, I'll let you know. I'm not quite there yet. So I'm running sound and then also recording audio for the bands and videos. Kind of trying to make it beneficial so they have stuff to promote their music. And
how'd you get involved with the bridge?
Drew actually plays drums in my band, so I met him through college. He played with me in one of my projects, and so yeah, that's how I know Drew. I graduated from Tiffin University about 2 years ago, studying music production, so recording and then doing live sound. But yeah, so like I have a studio in Bellevue. I do that stuff privately, and then help run here at the bridge, do the sound, and have a good time. Be loud. Something will always go wrong. It's kind of the name of the game, but what makes me who I am and what I do is being able to fix them. That's all. This job is problem solving. You're working with technology, and all these cables could go wrong, and if you're unwilling to like fix things on the fly, it just won't work. So yeah, it will. Things will go wrong, but that's life. Everything will go wrong at one point, so you just gotta be good at like being flexible and adapting and make it work.
Plugs? I hope so. If not, someone's gonna get angry. And I'm angry. Josiah, do you remember where we put the earplugs? What?
I think Chris has them with the rest of his
Chris has
stuff.
them, okay.
So he'll bring all of that when he gets here.
Then we wait.
yeah, we do. We already have everything set up, Chris. What's that? 3 people outside in about 5 minutes. Okay, cool. Hi, Jess. I was saying hi to Jess. Yeah. Okay. Chris is gonna need 3 people outside at some
Right
point.
now?
Not right now. He'll be here in a second. Just needs help with the.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Christopher,
Okay.
what are the chances you could play the drums? Like,
I can.
can.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of insulted by that question. I'm really honored to be playing here tonight.
alright, this should be good. No. I tested all the other mics are good. Yeah, it's actually a lot easier than the studio
Chris is
stuff.
here. Really?
Yeah, it's just gain.
Great.
It's literally
Chris is here.
We need
Help him out.
yeah.
Flying by the seat of our pants today. So, the old sanctuary, we got this new addition to the building 7 years ago now. So this is the actual place where we have church. The old sanctuary just kind of is a catch-all for whatever other type of ministries the church wants to do. So I was like, hey, we got a stage, we have sound equipment, why don't we start hosting local shows? And of course the church has been super supportive of the whole thing.
Well, that is an interesting juxtaposition, having hardcore shows at a church. But you said that's something that the church has been supportive of. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of why I called it the bridge. You know, I'm bridging these two worlds that I exist in together. I mean, I tomorrow I'll be here playing drums on the drum set for the Sunday service. I just meet a lot of different people who have been like hurt by church people or pushed out by church people because they don't fit the molds that they're supposed to fit in. And I'm kind of doing this to kind of mitigate those different hurts and show either side that we're not as scary and imposing as the other has been led to believe. Like, I grew up in this church. I've been here since I was a baby. I got baptized on that stage. So a lot of the people who come here on Sunday are kind of like family to me. So there's a guy up there, you probably saw him, tall, lanky dude. His name's Craig, another guy who's known me since I was a baby. He donates the snacks to just give to people for free. There's going to be a couple other church people here who are just interested in getting to know a different type of community that they've never really been privy to, and just bridge the gap, as the whole message of the thing has been. I'm reconciling people with whatever previous church hurt they've had. In some way, and I've had lots of people who, you know, have talked to me about different things, anywhere between like, you know, I had very abusive parents who didn't quite accept who I was, and, you know, this is one of the first churches in a long time I've actually felt like I've belonged. There's another guy who, he's going to be running the door tonight, his name's Chris. He had a similar trajectory, and now every Sunday he's coming here. He's met all the church folk, and he's a part of the family now too. And I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. I've lived this Christian life long enough to know that Bible thumping doesn't work for anyone. And in a certain degree, it's what kind of turns people away from it. Yeah. I'm looking for gaff tape. I can't find gaff tape. Is the gaff? Oh, bless you. Okay.
I'd like to fill this out.
What's the story with those T-shirts?
I made them.
Oh, you made them.
Me, Chris, and Drew, and one of Chris's friends made our own T-shirt company because we always wanted to sell our own merchandise.
And so is that for the bridge? That's like bridge merchandise?
Yeah, it is. And we've been making a number of other shirts for bands.
Yeah, I think September is when we started.
So relatively recent then.
Yeah.
What have been some challenges you've faced with that so far?
So many.
Countless.
So on our first day, we didn't have a transparency printer, so we had to cut everything out with a Cricut that we borrowed secondhand from one of our friends. And so we had to drive all the way around, text people rapidly like, can we borrow a vinyl cutter? It was just insane. But we made enough so we could go and buy our own I think like a 4 or 5 panel print, and that made everything a lot better. The thing I like about how we work is all of us have our own roles. Chris obviously is the all hands on deck when it comes to maintenance of the shop, and we're very grateful for that. Drew is organizing the bands, and the bands come to us to print. Our friend Dalton is managing our shop, and I'm the graphic designer. So.
It's always for small bands, for local bands, a struggle to get good merchandise at affordable prices and in low quantities, because not a lot of people offer low quantities. So we wanted to help. Most of these bands that come here and play are our friends, and so we invested some money, bought some equipment, and now we're making shirts. The shop is at my house, so we completely gutted my basement and turned it into a full-blown print shop. Yeah, and I just do everything. I do everything from making stuff like this to printing shirts to working on the equipment, maintenance-wise, and develop screens, just everything that goes into running a print shop. You know, that started here at church, actually. Our youth pastor ordered some hats for the youth group, and they cost the church like $20-some a piece. And we have families here that have multiple kids in youth groups, so they can't afford to spend like $100 just for some hats. We looked up how much it would be to make them, and we found out like making a hat with a patch on it is like less than $5. So yeah, we just went with it. hours of YouTubing stuff, following like people on social media that do printing, smaller print shops, bigger print shops. Just months of deep diving into the matter and trial by error, really. Like, we've made so many shirts that we've like given to Goodwill because they weren't like worthy of selling, but now we're at a point where we like refine our process and we keep track of everything. So I think it's blown past all of our expectations already as far as like people that reach out and want to like work with us, and yeah, it's going great. We're gonna need a crew badge.
All our shit's on stage already. So what do I do?
Living the dream.
That's a female fronted band. And then arms, right? And it was like
Let me know if you need anything.
absolutely.
Whatever you need to do. I got a couple drum keys in my pocket. I actually got 3 drum keys in my pocket because that's totally necessary. Howdy. If you know where the shovel is, if you can find more salt too, that'd be beautiful. There is ice on the stairs. I tried my best to sprinkle salt on there, but I guess, too much ice.
One of the hazards of doing this in a building that wasn't meant to do this.
Great, though. Did you print the other 2?
I didn't find them, dude.
You didn't find them?
No.
I thought I sent you the
I
JPEG.
have to run home anyways, so I can print the rest out.
Okay.
Here in a second. Send. In this drive right here, there was nothing. There was only one. There was only this.
I got you.
We had just the pricing sheet. I was too ill-equipped to do it.
Devin, what's the guest password for the church again?
So doors are opening soon. How are things coming along?
I mean, we're pretty much there. There's little things here and there that I'm probably going to remember as the night draws on. It's always hard to predict these types of things, too. I've tried to do the Facebook event pages, and I'll get, like, maybe 5 people. It's just like a shot in the dark. And when they decide to show up is when they decide to show up.
Matt, good to see you. Load in back there.
Yeah, you can load it back there.
5 years.
People are slowly trickling in. They'll probably get faster as we go. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one.
Rip the snare for me.
What's up? Man, I was like, what the? Dude, tell me if this thing goes hard or what?
That does go hard.
Like your jacket.
The thing to put under the lemonade. Spill on the carpet. One of these things will be perfect. I'm one of the members of the church here and help out by providing snacks and drinks. I appreciate what Drew and the bridge are doing, but sometimes the music is too loud, so I don't get to stay for that part, but I'm happy to host. Everybody is always so generous and kind and appreciative. It's a really nice thing to be a part of.
I think we're good on everything.
Okay, you just need about 4 earplugs.
He's recording it.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It wasn't that bad.
No?
It really wasn't. The sound's fucking crazy. It's just like right there in your ear, and it's just. Other than that, no, it ain't too bad. My chest hurts pretty bad.
Who are you here to see tonight?
Lockdown and Open Wounds, I'm pretty sure.
How about you? Come here to see anyone in particular? Or?
No, I'm just here with him. I don't think he's ever been to like a hardcore show.
What we setting up? Those sunglasses are fucking sick.
Drew is up there. It is because he doesn't have the beard anymore.
What's your deal?
A lot.
Today. More often than not, we're using this soundboard, but since Devin's here, we're routing everything through him. And he's going to be the real star of the show. I can already see in his eyes that he's tired. We had a show last night in Sandusky, and me, Josiah, and Devin are all pretty beat from that already. Since we have church tomorrow, and this room needs to be completely back to the original state for church, we're aiming for the show to end at around 11, 11:30, maybe 12 if we're lucky. And then our cleanup crew is probably not going to get out of here until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully everything is streamlined. Hopefully we can get done at 11. But it never goes as planned. So, yep.
This is probably the last time we're playing the set list. We've been playing it for a while. This is the first song off our new EP. It's called False Prophet.
I'm gonna set my beverages.
I had my Debbie. Don't forget the Bevan, never ever. All right,
with the reviews. All right, so we're here with Threat Level, and you opened this show tonight here at the Bridge.
Yep.
So what was it like playing the first set of the night?
Well, I like to think that we get everybody else going for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? We get everybody comfortable, and then everybody else can play. I like playing early because there's no pressure, and I can just vibe the rest of the night as soon as we're off stage. I like setting the tone for the evening.
Yeah, same here. I like to feel the sound check too.
Yeah, playing somebody else's kit, having time to actually get comfortable on it, that helps a lot.
For some reason, I like camper. So I can't drink any beer until after we play, because otherwise I'm gonna get, bloated and shit. So the quicker we play, the quicker I can start drinking beer, which of course I'm not doing in the church.
No, never.
Except the Catholic.
Yeah, communion wine's fine, right?
Yeah, do that wafer. So how did you guys come to play this show? Who reached out to you? Who got you involved in?
Oh, they
coming
always
here
say
to play?
gunpoint. Said, you're gonna die if you don't play this.
And how did that make you feel?
I feel great.
So we played Indianapolis a couple months ago, and I think 2 bands called us Direct Threat. Not a diss. That's a great band. Love them. So
If we ever get a cease and desist, that's the name we're going with. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because you guys sound different from a lot of bands around here. You have more of a crossover approach. So what bands influence you?
Yeah, I think it's like we approach it like we're a crossover band, so we can take whatever influences we want, but just filter it through crossover, because we have a Suffocation riff we've stolen. We've got some Rival Mob riffs we've stolen. We got a new song that steals some Merciful Fate. We've even got some songs with our own riffs in there, but...
I'm mostly just obsessed with Boston hardcore. I always have been, so I try to sprinkle that in as much as I can. Yeah, American Nightmare, Half Heart, a lot of those bands, Suicide File, but I'm also a punk drummer who is just playing hardcore, so I guess Teenage Bottle Rocket, Bad Religion would be my biggest influences.
Mine, I like a lot of old school heavy metal, like Skullfist and Forrester. but also like black metal, stuff like Antichrist, Siege Machine, Revenge, stuff like that. I like to be like, kind of like the fast riffs is what I usually go for, more than slower stuff.
He'll just like send a song by like some band called like Bitch Whore or something. It's true. It's true. It will like have the highest pitch vocals you've ever heard and like the hardest breakdown like 30 seconds into the track, and it's crazy shit. So
Always on the hunt for some weird underground metal. It's fun.
We're only halfway through the show, but what do you think of the other acts tonight?
Everybody's playing really great.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Know what else I'd rather be here with?
the sound,
Fantastic.
we've played here before, and since the last time, like the sound system is like way upgraded. Next level doesn't sound like a DIY spot at all.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Vocals are clear, all the guitars and everything, drums, yeah, I can ring through pretty good now.
I can hear guitar and my drums, so I'm happy. Making a carpeted room sound good is, you know, pretty crazy. So shout out to the sound guy.
Right, well then that brings me to another question. The bridge itself is a pretty unique space to be playing a show. What's that like, and how's that different from maybe other shows that you played?
It kind of reminds me of back in like the early mid-2000s when I used to go to like a bunch of metalcore shows, and all the spots that you had for that kind of music were VFWs and spots like in a church, you know, activity room. And I remember going to, I was driving out to like Mansfield, there was a place out there, and went out there a few times. It kind of brings me back to like old Ohio metalcore, like Death Wars Prada and what's that, like Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. Like the Christian metalcore days back in the day.
That was my
a lot of that. A lot of the cornerstone bands.
Yeah. My first show was like a plea for purging in a youth group room.
Dude, amazing.
It was awesome.
I remember Under Oath played at this place in Toledo, and it was just exactly like that. It was like a little Christian youth group place.
If the band had a multicolored Crush drum set, you knew the band was going to be good.
When I was like a little kid, the only place I could see live music was like at church on Sunday. Yeah. So like I'd like into youth group or a little early and like fuck with the drums and shit, you know? And so it's
in the cage.
It's bringing behind the fucking bulletproof glass. I think you're the fucking president.
Yeah.
So it's doing it for real now.
I'm just happy we have another really good DIY venue and just a great atmosphere here. People come out. It's awesome.
Yeah, we definitely needed it.
Yeah.
It's nice, it's clean. I like the bathrooms. That's a big thing for me is the bathrooms. You know, you want to be able to go sit down and do some, you know, do your thing and have a door that actually works, you know?
Which is not something that
you
you're going
don't
to
need
find at a lot
somebody
of
just
venues.
popping in while you're trying.
No, you're not going to hear balls or nothing.
Yeah, and people stuffing like paper towels down the toilet so you can't even flush it. You know, you're not going to get that here at the bridge.
Well, so last time we played here, I was taking a shit and the window was open and I smelled the weed come in and I was like, fuck, and it was right out at the balcony. There were people smoking weed and I just went, can I hit that? And scared the shit out of them.
Yeah, this is the kitchen for the main church. I have my own Dr. Pepper stand. That's what this badge gets you, man. That's what this badge gets you. You're not at my level yet.
So, Threat Level just played their set. That's the first band tonight. How are you feeling about the show so far?
It's going pretty good. I can't complain. Threat Level is a great group of people. Great music. Seriously. Yeah, no, we were just trying to stack the bill as much as possible. We're kind of at that place with the bridge. We get a lot of people asking to come and play.
I think the next band's starting to see it's okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, we're here with the Grim Existence, who played the second set tonight here at the bridge. So where are you guys from?
Ann Arbor to Detroit proper.
So do you play in Bowling Green a lot, or is this your first time?
First time I've been in the city playing in years.
first time I've played Ohio since probably 2009.
Never played Ohio.
So yeah, we're pretty fresh here. It's
good.
Oh yeah.
First out of state show for us, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been excellent. Everyone's kind of thrown down for every band. There's been a couple Detroit bands that people are just here for, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I used to hang out at Howard's, and it's always seems like it's been very enthusiastic, and seems like that hasn't changed.
How has playing a church venue been different from, say, playing a bar or playing someone's basement, other shows you might have played?
We've done a couple venues that are old churches that are now punk rock venues, and this appears to still be a church that is a punk rock venue, but I mean, the sound's always excellent. It's been super fun. Like, you know, we played, what was it, the Fledge and
yeah, that's right.
And it was, it's a very, very similar feel to this, where it's just been like, I mean, the sound just slays.
Because the Fledge now is just a large arts community center, and what is a church but a big community center anyways, because I used to play church shows years and years and years ago. Michigan Christian Ska used to be a very very staple part of the community, and that was a lot of my first DIY shows were like Christian Ska and metalcore, so it's very nostalgic for me personally.
Well, and the organizers for the show have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Very communicative, very positive, you know, and just doing it for the right reasons, trying to cultivate the scene, maintain the scene, you know, and do it in a cool space. So.
Yeah. Drew and I have been friends for a little while, just kind of, one of his bands, Promaton, has played some shows I've booked, some shows my friends have booked. Pythian threw our name into this mix specifically, and we're really grateful for it, but it was just sort of friends of friends, and then longer distance friends.
What the music we're making now, like, you know, we're all, well, at least Kyle and I are, you know, in our late 30s. Micah's a little bit younger, but you know, we grew up in the early aughts, crazy, Norma Jean, Cherry, like, you know, all of that stuff, like
a lot of tooth and nail.
Oh, I mean, my first DIY show was The Devil Wears Prada in a church basement in a town I don't know the name of. But we drove like an hour. Our parents dropped us off. We were in the 7th grade. There was a no moshing rule, so the whole crowd just kind of swayed back and forth super aggressively because everyone was having to like very firmly hold back.
So whatever our personal beliefs are of everything, we owe a lot of the music scene that we grew up is very, very indebted to, you know, the Tooth and Nail or what have you record labels. It made a huge impact, and you know, we just always want to give back to what has been given to us. Is very important, so you know, we're happy to be here.
Because the guys in Threat Level, they were kind of saying some very similar things. I think they even mentioned some of the same bands you did, as far as how, you know, back in the day this kind of thing was actually relatively common. So what's it like to see it maybe coming back a bit?
Personally, as someone who is queer, it's nice knowing that like there are a lot of pockets in the like Christian alternative community that I don't have to second guess anyone's intention. It's oddly comforting after spending the last decade being pretty confrontational about it, knowing that that energy is totally unnecessary, because it's tiring. It's tiring to have to justify your own existence and sort of walk back a lot of the stuff you grew up on, so it's kind of cool to watch it sort of come into its own. I remember there being a period where I did have to just fully start ignoring a lot of pockets of the music scene that I came up with, because they kind of kept showing their hand as having some pretty rotten beliefs. But then now I'll have these conversations and it'll almost come up the same way as if you were coming out as not being straight, as you know, by the way, I'm Christian, I hope that's cool. And so, well, yeah, of course, you're talking to me like I'm a human being, and I wear who I am on my sleeve. And so it's been nice, like watching it come around in a way that's like really putting its money where its mouth is. It's been fun. It's been nice, and I know it's I'm hoping it's less rare. I know Drew and I actually have had a lot of conversations about it, and yeah, it's exciting.
All right, and as far as the other acts tonight, what do you think so far?
I think we can say that we've been thoroughly excited and impressed.
Yeah. We're blessed to be out here on the show that we're on. Everyone has been excellent. Everyone has been so engaged and excited to be here, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is our first time out in Ohio. We've got Escalation of Force and Barefaced, two other amazing Michigan hardcore bands that we're out here with.
As Love Lost, I think we played with Bareface, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Members of Escalation of Force play in other bands that we've known for quite a long time too. So, and then Threat Level, I've known Benji, the drummer, for ages when he would come up to the Trumbleplex and play. So it's really, so far, honestly, been a lot of old friends for me personally, and I think for us personally. So that's been exciting.
But yeah, it's been a new setting, and we get to play with new people, and it's everyone. You know, all I care about is showing up to a show, and everyone's engaged. It's been excellent. So, thank you all for having us.
Sick. It's been fun.
How are you guys feeling about turnout tonight?
Pretty good.
Very,
People
very good.
steadily coming in.
Did I sell any shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah. People have been digging all of them.
Do you have a bestseller currently, or is it kind of?
It's the plain Jane Black. But the bleach ones are uniquely made. I actually made them the other day in the studio, and they're better than any other tie dye in my opinion. I like the cafe mocha look that they kind of give off.
Hey, what are your thoughts on Escalation of Force?
They were sick.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like them. They moved on stage. That was awesome.
So we got Joey from Wasted Time here.
Hey,
Joey,
what's up, guys?
who'd you come here to see?
I want to see Samara. Just because their name looks cool.
Damn, I see how it is.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of these bands that well. Threat Level a week ago, and here, in the 5 seconds I saw them, they sounded like 10 times as good as they sounded at Frankie a week ago. So I came late. Yeah. I was thinking, I said hi to you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I'm bad at remembering.
And you play drums.
Yeah.
How does that work out for you?
I don't know, man.
To start off with, your name.
Samara.
Samara, okay. I thought it was probably Samara, not Samara.
Yeah. Oh, everyone mispronounces it. At this point, we're just like, whatever. As long as you're talking about us, that's all we really care about.
So where'd that name come from?
I got it from Sherlock. You see that? It's Benedict Cumberbatch. One of the episodes he talks about in the beginning, he talks about this poem. It's called Appointment in Samara. And it's basically about a guy is in the market and he sees death embodied. And he's like, I gotta run away. Because he saw me. So he runs to the city of Samara. I think the guy's wife or something goes and finds Death. Hey, what? I don't know, I totally fucked up. I lost the story. Death eventually says, when I saw you, I was surprised because I had an appointment with you tonight in Samara. So I thought it was a cool thing, and it rolls off the tongue.
Not so much the story. But...
Not so much the story, apparently.
So much the
I haven't
story.
thought about it in like
I know.
8 years. Edit that together, make me sound cool. Yeah, I'm Jordan.
I'm Matt.
The guitar player, singer.
We're from Columbus, Ohio.
Have you played in Bowling Green or Toledo before?
This is our first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, everyone's been super nice, and the crowd was awesome. So.
All the band were great. Yeah, super sick.
And the venue itself, I mean, here I am interviewing you in what looks like a Sunday school playroom. Obviously an unconventional venue, playing in a church. What's that been like?
I mean, honestly, we play a lot of DIY spots, so it's not out of the ordinary. Honestly, this is nicer than a lot of the places.
We just played a laundromat last night. So.
Yeah, Dirty Dungarees, Columbus, Ohio. Shout out.
Yeah.
Rules.
Yeah, the atmosphere here at the bridge is fantastic, and everybody's been so great. So
yeah, it's a super cool place.
Yeah, it's been definitely a good experience. Drew asked us a long time ago about putting on a show, and we were down because we've been trying to get into this place for a while now. We naturally just said yes, and he formed this awesome build, so couldn't have worked out any better, honestly.
Yeah, we're really just trying any place that will have us, we'll come play. So hit us up.
So it sounds like the bridge was on your radar. How did you become aware of the bridge?
So our bass player, Paul, he was in another band a couple years ago called Massive Gun, but they played here, and he talked it up super big, so we definitely wanted to get in here ourselves.
The attendance at the show tonight, how are you feeling about the crowd?
It's great, man. I mean, everyone's super energetic. There's kids here.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys love playing to the youngins.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But yeah, it's awesome, man.
What kinds of subjects do you write your songs about?
Life experiences. Like I deal with like a lot of mental health issues, so like a lot of it has like me trying to write out some of the best way I can, depict it from like my head. So like a lot of inspiration from that. Like we have one song called "Lucky Like Worth Sullivan." It's about a guy that's he got struck by lightning 7 times in his life. He survived all of it, and then he ended up killing himself. He survived all those lightning strikes, but he ended up doing himself in. That's what that song's about. But
real happy stuff.
Yeah, real happy stuff.
Happy, cool stuff.
The happiest stuff.
How long have you been active as a band together?
2017.
2017. Okay, so last decade. So you've been, you've been around.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
It's had its ups and downs, but we seem to be on an uptick right now. We're getting a lot of shows. Very fun.
Do you have plans to come back to the bridge or Bowling Green at some point in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This has been, like we said, it's been great. Super fun.
Appreciate you guys. Follow us on social medias and stuff.
If I can get up off this fucking chair.
Hardcore isn't always my thing, but Open Wound and Escalation of Force and Lockdown I'll really sit out. I like those guys a lot. We've been around for a little over a year now, so we've got the reach. People know about us. They know what's here, know to come by. We just keep making those connections, keep booking people who tell more people, who show up to shows and then tell more people, and it's just mostly been word of mouth. I think the biggest thing for me and the biggest thing for a lot of the bands is that we're not a business. We're not trying to make money. We're not trying to take home a piece of the cut. I was mostly kidding, but at one point we were talking about, you know, the money that gets made, and I told Drew that if he offered me any money for helping out, I'd kill him. I don't want to benefit from this monetarily. I'm getting so much more than that out of it. Having that church backing, I guess, and having people, you know, like myself who were part of the church. Drew presented the idea. I'm already predisposed to the ideas of music and having it in a church, so of course I'm going to help out. And there are plenty of other people in the church who feel the same way, who are like, yeah, this is great, we're going to be a part of this, we'll show up to shows. So yeah, the pastor is too. I'm surprised he wasn't here tonight. He's, as Drew likes to put it, a recovering scene kid. He saw Fall Out Boy at Frankie's before they got big. He's been to Warped Tour a couple times. He's big into that kind of music, so he's totally on board with it too, which is great.
Oh, this is from fucking Fiddler on the Roof. Ready? When a poor man eats a chicken, one of them is sick. Yeah.
What up, Lockdown? What up, Lockdown? You know what it is, you know what it is.
So, Lockdown, is this your first time playing at the Bridge, or have you played here before?
So this is our second, but technically it would have been our third. Last summer we played a house show that was connected through the Bridge. It was supposed to be here, something fell through. I think it was double booked here, and they actually ended up getting a house or like a garage that the Bridge put on.
That was the worst fucking show.
I think it was good, but Brendan played 3 sets back to back to back, so that was like the first connection we ever had with the Bridge. Kyle booked that, and then we played another show here. I forget when it was, like fall?
Yeah, somewhere in fall.
Somewhere after summer, yeah, here. So this is our third show technically through the Bridge. It was sick.
It was sick. It was
a lot more people. A lot better than the last show that we had here.
Yeah,
way more people than we expected.
Whoever did the sound today, amazing job.
Oh yeah, sound was amazing. Everyone that showed up, showed out, showed love. All the bands were dope, so.
How'd you get involved in this show here at the Bridge?
So Winter Ruckus, well, me and Brendan kind of just recently started working with the Bridge. I'm helping book shows here now, and I kind of helped put this one on. Drew is the main guy that runs this here. It seems like, you know, he's been super cool since day one. We played a show here a couple months ago, and me and him just kind of linked up, and, you know, I kind of helped grabbing some bands for this, and we got put on, and he just wanted us to play. So I think 7 bands is the most that they've had here for like one event show, especially for a hardcore show. But I think it went flawless tonight. I mean, I think Drew did a great job, and the whole Bridge team did. So.
Do you have something you want to show everyone, Brendan?
No.
No?
No.
It's a picture of John Pork.
Sorry. Yeah. What he said. What's up, little homie? Who was your favorite tonight? Say Lockdown. Just say Lockdown.
Lockdown.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Lying, but that's still cool.
Edit that out.
Yeah, I made the flyer for that one. I basically just did a deep dive, and I found this old photo of like a ton of cave miners inside of a frozen cave, and then put all the shit over it.
Brendan pretty much makes all the flyers.
Makes a lot.
We get something going, and we go, hey, make
and our
this happen.
stickers. Yeah.
And what did you think of the other bands tonight?
Definitely dope, amazing. Second time seeing Escalation of Force. I helped book them tonight. Those are really good dudes. You know, those are the OGs from Detroit. They've been doing this for a long time. They sounded incredible. Their bass sounds amazing. I just love watching them. Obviously, Open Moon headlined, and they were insanely dope. They just put out a new LP as well. Pat from Underhill Studios, he did both our EP and Open Moon's LP, and they're both just really good pieces of music. And hearing that live for the first time was super sick.
And what about the headlining band, Open Wound?
Always a good time.
Yeah. You can let Brendan speak on that. It's the first time seeing him.
First time seeing them, it's one of those bands that I've been wanting to see for years. Trent introduced me, the guitarist, he introduced me to the local scene. He's a part of my extended family, and I met some of his family members on vacation, and that's when I found out about Dissected and Open Wounded. I've been wanting to see Open Wound since, and being able to be on a bill playing right before one of the big, like, 2000s beatdown bands.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty cool.
It's cool because they've been around for like, since definitely,
10 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, 10 years at least.
All right, so I got like 30 seconds of tape
Okay,
left, so I'm gonna be just about to run out. But
Shout out Lockdown. Come Before the Storm, check it out. It's on all streaming. We got tapes, we got CDs.
Great.
Book us, we'll play your apartment. We'll play anything.
Apartment, bando.
Let's play your living room.
Play living room.
How'd it go?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. The last band is finished playing. Everyone's pretty much packed up. You're getting all your stuff wrapped up. How do you think the night went?
It was good. It was a lot of bands. There was a lot of hiccups, but we made it through. Just like cables not working, every band has a different setup. We had to do one drum changeover in the middle, but we stayed ahead of the time. We ended a little early than what we planned.
So you had some unexpected difficulties, but you actually ended earlier than you thought you would.
Yeah. It was best case scenario, and for the most part, things went really smooth, so we were able to stay ahead of the time. Everyone was super professional, which that obviously makes my job a lot easier, but yeah, everyone was awesome.
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, at the end of the day, it's just about the people and making the connections, and if everyone walks away happy, I'm happy. Like, that's at the end of the day, that's all I want. I want people to have a good experience. I want people to find some levity in what we're doing.
Maybe not quite as many people as we expected, but it was still packed, still a lot of fun, great bands, great time. I gotta clean it all up, get ready for next time. What is next time? I don't know. I mean, clearing the ice off the porch was a thing. I think enough people walked over it to kind of get enough of it cleared off, and the salt helped. I did what I could.
Full disclosure, I would have liked a little bit of a bigger crowd, but you know, we can only do so much with the meager amount of promoting we can do without having to pump money into it.
Yeah, everything's packed up, just not cleaning, but it was a good night.
Well, I was going to ask about how t-shirt sales went tonight.
Pretty good, I'd say. 10 shirts and have some orders that we're going to ship on Monday. We didn't have some sizes that people wanted, so we took their information. We're going to ship it to them. We're trying to sell this merchandise to upgrade the sound equipment in here and raise funds. It's not like that we want to line our own pockets or anything. But we get this room, but we're going to have to use what's in here. So if we want to improve the sound system, then I think it's only fair if we do it on our own instead of falling a burden to the church. You know, we don't want to get rich. We all have good day jobs. This is just us 4 friends hanging out, making some stuff happen on our own free time. Churches, ministries, and fundraisers get everything at cost, so we don't make any money on that. We invest our labor, and you know, we help other people out because we want to do good. Open Wound was great. Never seen them live, so it's always cool. Like, I'm here every show, I work the door, right? So
Welcome back, Andy.
Every time I see a new band that just blows me away, and then I go down the rabbit hole of, you know, finding the discography and listening to the stuff. So yeah, great.
We basically have to make this room look like we didn't just mosh in it. This is where they have the Sunday school for the kids. Yeah, the next morning we have little kids singing little worship songs with whoever is leading the kids program. It's actually quite an interesting dichotomy that I don't think very many people take into consideration when we put on these shows. We'll occasionally have some people who come to the show who don't seem to want to read the room and think maybe I shouldn't bring alcohol into the old sanctuary of the church. Yeah,
There were a
no.
couple PBRs in the back room.
Yeah, I had to shoot people away. I'm like, we're not Catholic here.
I never really have issues with that either.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like occasionally, but people always, you say something, they're very respectful and understand it.
Yeah, and these people were no different. Like, they're like, oh yeah, can we drink it out in the parking lot? And I'm like, I guess so. Kyle Harkness, he's a big straight edge guy, and he's one of those people who loves the space simply because we're a no alcohol space. A lot of people have told me, they're like, it really kind of puts the emphasis on the music instead of the, hey, I'll drink and maybe I'll stick around for the band. The amount of like OSHA violations we're probably subjecting ourselves to is absurd. By the grace of God, we're circumventing.
Several big blade piles with it in the early days. That was really nice. That went over well. And I thought about that for a second. I thought.
I get the sense that the bridge staff and as well as the people in the church who are involved in the bridge are pretty close with each other.
Oh yeah, you have to be at this point. You're kind of co-workers, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, I'm in a band with Devin. I've been in bands with Josiah, still in a band with Josiah. He plays bass in the worship team. Chris is a bit of the outlier, but he's just made himself at home. Yeah, we're pretty close, I'd like to say.
How does that work?
We operated perfectly fine without Chris, but now I'm at the point where I simply cannot imagine a bridge show functioning nearly as well if Chris wasn't involved in it. Like, genuinely, I can't say enough good things about Chris, and I didn't realize I needed Chris until I met Chris.
Yeah. Good.
Zoom in on his face.
No.
Catch him blushing.
But
he's actually the adult in the room. Yeah. No. Between the three of us, the 33-year-old man, the 30-year-old man, and 21-year-old dude, he's well, I mean, by comparison.
It's okay. They thought I was his dad. Nick thought I was his dad. I'm like, what? I mean,
it was funnier when I had my big beard.
No, because I'm not that old.
Yeah. You heading out?
Thinking about it.
Go ahead, dude. You've earned it.
I still have to tidy up the shop and I want to eat.
Just leave.
I haven't eaten yet.
It's almost 1.
Yeah, no. I slept for like 4 hours. I was making these shirts last night, and then I got carried away. I made like bags and put logos on the bags, and then I put a little sticker pack together to put inside with the shirts.
So Chris has only been here since the Amari Tones, which was a Japanese Christian hair metal band that came through. But
Here?
Yeah, we had him come through here.
You had a Japanese Christian hair metal band play here at the bridge.
It was wonderful. Like, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know how people would take it, because it's super goofy on all fronts. But
I mean, they had this one guy was dressed up like a ninja, and he was doing like his ninja sword fighting. It was
he had
cool.
a katana and he did like a sword dance. It was insane. Like, there was only like, what, 23 people in the room, but